Can you see now,
Now it is
guys?
there.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now
All
it's
right,
Yes, sir.
Akshit, welcome first of all, and great to see your performance. 760 is awesome always, and let's everyone know I'm talking to a batch of students, so just let them know how you prepared, what your strategy was, and what your exam experience was, please.
Yes, of course. Thank you, sir. First of all, thank you so much. Your contribution was like the most differentiating factor for the performance. So
Mhm.
thank you and the team for that. For the exam specifically, I gave my exam as I said on the 3rd of August, and I got a 760, a quant score of 50, and a verbal score of 44. So the exam, all in all, was I started my exam preparation journey with the top 1% in the April batch, just like you guys in the live batch, and I gave it in
Mhm.
August. So I basically did the classes for roughly about 2 months, and then did the preparation period after that. Uh, so
Mhm.
basically, yeah, all in all, the journey was pretty good. For me specifically, I attended all the classes at the first. I made sure that I did all of them and I did all of my pre-work. But I had sort of a very demanding job, so I couldn't spend a lot of time as
Mhm.
recommended during the class period. So I then had to take this extended time post the classes ended. So that's where we are. That's where I got a bit delayed, which I wouldn't
Mhm.
recommend you guys to do it. But yes, it was the same thing for me.
So if you give enough
Apart
time, you
yes,
feel 3 months should be enough according to you also. Like if you give
with the
the
classes,
time
yes.
while doing the classes very sincerely, then 3 months should be a good time, right?
More than sufficient, yes, sir. I mean, with me as well, I think it was like if in the during the class period, if I had, let's say, dedicated more time to the preparation, then it would
Mhm.
have been two and a half months. Yeah, not more than that was required. So
All
yeah,
right.
3 months is a
So
roundabout a good time. Yeah.
take us through each of the sections, verbal and quant. What was verbal like for you while preparing? SC, CR, RC. I mean, I know some of the areas because we've been speaking, but still, I think for everyone, quant also, preparation also, and then the exam experience also. Just take us through your yeah.
So I'll start about verbal. In verbal, so for me, when I started my preparation, I got to know that. So my RC was not too bad. I was like average, above average, maybe let's say 70-75% accuracy at
Mhm.
at that point, where I was able to, let's say, get the inference questions right, but not necessarily the primary purpose right, and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Octave really helped. So basically, it definitely helped me to build that confidence, that speed, and also that bridge that gap from that 75% to that 95%
Because
accuracy that
primary
I
purpose is the challenge that you had, so Octave would have totally bridged that gap for you, I think.
yes,
So
yes,
yes.
it definitely did. I mean, and basically, I mean, always I was in the situation where I boiled down to two choices. One of them was correct, but
Mhm.
then picking one of the two was sort of the tricky part. But then Octave really helped eliminate the long one at the last, and then I was able to come
Mhm.
to the right answer. So that's where RC was good, and definitely within the RC, one suggestion would be to follow Sandeep sir's advice and make sure that you do those 5 passages every day, half an hour,
Mhm.
because that really helps your pacing and that really helps that context switching that you would need to do while you're
Superb.
giving your exam.
Right,
So
right.
that's there. For CR, it's a more of an incremental journey. You have to practice. You have to make sure that you do all the questions that you are given. And as in when you proceed, you will start seeing that jump gradually. So for me, it was not different. It was like same as I'm sure you would also experience. For SC, I think that's where you will see the most drastic jump while you prepare. I mean, for me, when I started, as I think for all of you, it might be SE, you do start doing SE and you maybe get, let's say, 30% only right or
Mhm.
40% right or something of that sort, right? But then when you start actually applying the rules, you start understanding the
Mhm.
concepts, and then when you start practicing, then you eventually see that jump happening pretty quickly. So for me, it was the same. I attended all the classes. I couldn't practice during the class period, so I didn't see that during the class phase. But then once I started, let's say, revising the class, and then when I started attempting the SC latest
Mhm.
questionnaire, within the, let's say, the first 50 to 100 questions, I could immediately see a 90 to 95% accuracy jump. So
That's
it was a,
fabulous. 90 to
it was very
95% is like from
comfortable.
30, 40. That's really
Yes,
nice.
exactly.
And so RC also, so each area you will say got to more than 90% when you were not stressed or something, like when you were able to concentrate
Yes.
well, 90% plus was your accuracy in a way,
Yes.
at least at
In my
home.
mocks and exam, yes. I mean, I was able to basically in RC, the most amount of questions I got in RC were three. That too in a very difficult
Mhm.
mock that I gave. Maximum like one or two questions, don't get more to that in any of the mocks. So, yeah.
Even in mock. So that means even while pacing, you could manage that level of accuracy, right?
Yes. So only
All
because of the half an hour practice of the RC 700.
Okay. And how about your quantitative preparation? I know your quant was a bit stronger than your verbal initially, but still, I mean, how was that for you? And then the exam experience will come to. Yeah, please.
Yes. So quant prep was good. So quant prep, as I already, I mean, I had engineering background and did all of that, so I was having some basic info or some basic retention of everything that we usually study. So that's
Mm-hmm.
something that helped me at least get to that level pretty quickly. But then in quant, it's all about practice and pacing. I mean, in GMAT, you can expect a lot of curveballs, right? So basically,
Mm.
once you study, you have to make sure that you don't miss out on any topic. Each and every topic is important. No preference GMAT has, no preference you should have. So basically make sure that you do, and the material that you have is like the best material that you can find. So make sure that you complete all of the questions from the latest, from the 700, 800, and all of the mock tests that are available on the website, because they comprehensively cover almost every aspect that quant will be to offer. So even if your
Yeah.
concepts are strong, it would make sense to practice and make sure that you don't waste your time thinking about a lot of questions during your exam. So that helped me a lot. So
Okay.
yeah,
Great.
concept wise, I would say that, as I said, I mean, for let's say, in my case, for example, I got a lot of questions from ratio, the topic that we are doing today, as well as percentages. So, I mean, you don't really expect a lot of those. I mean, for me, I was expecting maybe like some questions from those more from algebra, numbers, and geometry. But for me, I got like 2, 3 questions from geometry, and most of them from percentages or ratio. So that's a different thing. Yeah.
Mhm. But you were prepared for any eventuality, so I don't think that would have made any difference. Okay, tell us about your exam experience. You chose the center exam, so and after that, like what was the first section you did, quant or verbal, and how did it progress? Did you feel anything was unusual or new compared to what you had solved, or was it pretty smooth going? Just tell us about each of the areas: DS, PS, SC, RC, all of this. Yeah.
So I started with quant. That's something that I decided while giving my mocks. It's up to the personal preference of anyone what they. But for me, it made quant made sense because quant basically is a stronger topic, so it kickstarts you so that when you attempt verbal, you're already in that momentum to attempt
Mm-hmm.
things. So that's where quant with verbal helps. Then for quant, basically when I started, as I already said, I got a lot of questions from ratio, percentages, and word problems, sort of complex word problems. Problem solving, it was a mix of word problems and everything. I got from some topics more. I got, but it was not very tricky. It was not very like it was not testing a lot of tricks, or it was not testing a lot of, let's say, reasoning. It was just like solving, so you can do that pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
For DS, I found it a bit tricky. For DS, you had to be a bit more present and a bit more careful, because at that moment in DS, I mean, it had a lot of A traps, B traps, and C traps. I mean, you would
Mm-hmm.
think it's a C answer type, but it's actually a B. You would think it's a B, but it's actually
So you just needed that presence because you'd been exposed to everything, but you needed to be very present in the moment, right? Right, right.
exactly,
Hello?
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was a mix of questions. Yes. So,
yeah,
can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah. Your video is a little frozen, but now
So
it's
yeah,
better. Yeah,
for quant, my pacing was fine. Is it better now? Okay. So
yeah.
my pacing for quant was good. I was able to finish my exam around 7 to 8 minutes early. So that's where that helped a lot. Yeah, that's about it.
For verbal, each of the areas, SC,
Right.
CR, and RC. You told me SC had a lot of meaning clarity. CR was long passages, and RC was a mix, like two long and two medium passages. But apart from
Yes.
that, question types and everything, let's just tell, please.
So for verbal, I basically got, it was more or less an expected difficulty that you would, let's say, find from a good GMAT question paper. So you basically, I had a mix of all the questions that sir said about 4 paragraphs in RC, two very long, two intermediate, like let's say three
Mm.
paragraphs in two, and 4 to 5 paragraphs in the other two. It was good. I mean, the questions were a mix. I mean, out of the 4 questions, two were sort of easy to get. Two, you had to spend a bit more time. So RC was there, but I was already a bit strong in RC, so I didn't spend a lot of time there. So that's where it helped. For SC, I got a lot of meaning clarity questions. I mean, the rules are fine. I mean, the rules questions were pretty easy to solve. I mean, if you know the rules and you have practice, you can very quickly identify the splits and eliminate. So I was able to do that very quickly. So those weren't an issue. Meaning clarity, once you eliminate and boil down to, let's say, the last 2 or 3 options, then you have to fully read, get what the question is saying, and then accordingly you have to do it.
So
Sometimes you might find an issue.
that must have taken a little more time for you
Yes,
compared to.
yes. Those questions took comparatively more time than, let's say, other
Mhm.
institutions. Yeah.
And
Uh,
Sia?
yeah. CR, I got a mix. It was let's say some Some statements were, let's say, 3 to 4 sentences long. Some of the paragraphs were 5 to 6
Quite
sentences
longer,
long, or
right?
more than that even. Quite longer, and it was okay. I mean, in terms of, let's say, it was a mixed bag. I got few that were, let's say, you just read, identify the conclusion, and you are able to identify the answer as well pretty quickly. Some of them you needed to spend a bit more time. You wanted to just basically make sure that you understand the premise fully, and then accordingly you can then identify the right conclusion, because it tends to confuse you. It tried to basically, let's say, give the option that would factually be correct, but then it is not, let's say, the main point, or let's say it is
It's
not
not the
exactly
answer.
answering the point. Yes.
Okay, so you might have expected while writing the exam that you would get a decent score, right? I mean, a very good score this time really would have been.
While writing, yes. While writing, yes.
So you did feel that smoothness.
Halfway through, I got that feeling. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
fabulous.
Halfway through the sections.
So just to remind everyone, because you may not have known, he got a score of 760, 50 and 44. Quant 50, verbal 44. Everyone, if you have any questions to ask Akshit, you can please ask. He wrote the exam just 4 days back, so it will be very fresh. So if you want to ask something, how his exam was or any other question, please do ask.
So Akshit, how are your mock scores like from the official mocks?
Sorry, didn't get the question.
What were your mock scores like from the official mocks?
My mock scores were from the official mocks. I gave all of the mocks, the 6 mocks that are officially given. So I got between 750 to 770. I got 740 in one of them, but I got basically between 750 to 770 in the other ones.
Okay, so he was hitting the same score in the mocks as in the real exam. Okay, fine.
But I gave my mocks pretty late in the game, so that's why I was already having that preparation. I mean, it's not as if I was starting with the mocks. I gave them, let's say,
yeah.
20 days to spare. Yeah.
Okay. Any other question anyone has, please?
Would you suggest that we give our mocks consistently throughout our preparation journey, or save them up for the end and then keep giving them every week, like I give a mock towards the end, or should I do it consistently throughout my preparation journey?
Consistent would be better, but it mostly depends upon what your goal is. If you, let's say, want to give your exam as soon as the classes are over, then it would make sense that to do it consistently now. But if you want to, let's say, take that 1 month after the classes and then give your exam, then spread it across that month. It would make more sense.
So overall, I would have a point here. Please write your mocks after the classes are done, so that all the topics are done once. And then, yes, you can write them at a particular interval, 1.5 months after that, and that's when you spread them across. But then that should be consistent. From now, writing the mock will not be really the right thing to do. Okay. Any other thing anyone has, please, to talk about?
How many should we give?
Be a bit louder, guys. He's not able to hear you.
How many mocks should we give?
Yeah, Akshit,
give the official ones. Give the official ones definitely, that are like the closest, especially in verbal. For quant, I would suggest give the official ones, but then do the sectional ones from the top 1% website. Those are very, very good quality sectional tests that you will give, because they cover a variety of questions. They would definitely give you a lot of different combinations of the questions that you can get. Let's say a mix of, let's say in one mock, I got like a lot of word problems and very less direct problem solving questions. And one of them, it was more of a balanced approach. So do those, especially like maybe what I did, and that worked for me, was that I gave all of the mocks in the multiples of 3. Like I gave 3, 6, 9, 12, just to make it that it makes more sense for me. So I did that for the quant section once, and do that, it would make sense. Yeah.
All right. Any other question anyone has here, please?
Yeah, from where did you do the sectional test? As an apart from a full length?
He's talking about the top 1% website, the portal access that we give you from there.
So, sir, that you will tell us, no, when to do that?
Yeah, I'll give you access. Don't worry about all that. That will be given to you at the right moment. Any other question anyone has, please?
How much quant did you practice on a regular basis, or it was only for RC?
On a regular basis, I tried to. So I completed the RC, the quant 700, 800. Not all of them. Like, let's say the topics that I definitely knew I wanted to do. For example, topics like that are weak topics like digits or sequences that you don't really see a lot of questions for. Do the 700, 800 for them. The collection is very, very good. Quant latest, do all of them and do their section. So like space it around a month's period, you'll be able to do it. 1 hour,
So
2
just
hours,
to
2.5 hours.
reiterate, because sometimes your voice is dropping. So he did
Okay.
all of quant latest, some topics that he thought he was weak at in the quant 700 to 800, and all the sectional tests. Now, daily should you do? I think it depends on your strength or weakness. I don't think he would have needed to do them daily while the classes were on. That's my estimate. But towards the end, yes, you always want to be in that rhythm. So you would like to practice all the areas. That's all.
So now also should we do like some questions daily or what?
Yeah,
Like
because
for the topics
I
which
am
are
not
over.
want, so I just want to
Okay.
get an idea.
So I will answer that question better than he can, because I know exactly at what level of your preparation you are. After each quant session, I'll ask you to do some optional homework, which is not compulsory. That will be called quant 700 to 800 extra exercise that you can start doing, but that won't be compulsory. But towards the exam time date, you will definitely have to pick that up. Some of you can pick it up right from now. There is no harm in that at all. Yeah, that's it. So
And
I'm very,
Akshay, did
yeah,
you,
Sir, I
sir,
have a
one.
question.
yeah, please.
Hi, Akshay. Congratulations, very inspiring. You have such a great score. I wanted to ask you that during the classes, were you practicing all the topics, like a little bit, like you said, half an hour RC, or did you wait for the classes to finish and then that 1 month you took, so 1 or 2 months to every day do the same thing?
So as I said, during the classes, I couldn't. I wouldn't recommend that, but for me, I couldn't make the time because my job was a bit demanding. So that's why during the classes, I just did the pre-work and the classes. But if you can make the time, then please do it. I mean, it would really cut short your time and make sure that you are able to achieve your goal faster. But yes, in my case specifically, I did it after the classes. The 1.5 months that I spent, I basically spaced out my preparation in that.
Akshit, how did you go about
Thank you.
pacing? How did you pace yourself and how did you test it? How is it going with the speed and not?
So for verbal, the pacing strategy that Sir would advise you later on follows perfectly. SC, do 30 questions in a single seating. Try to make sure that you get them done. RC, half an hour, 5 passages every day. It worked for me well. CR as well, try to do long seatings, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours every day, and that would help you to basically get in the rhythm. For quant, give the sectional tests, as I said, right? So once these are all like high quality questions in a 1 hour setting that you would be doing. So practice those. If you practice, your pacing would become fine. I mean, without practice, pacing is not solvable. So you have to practice and your pacing.
I will anyway suggest later on. That's not the right time. So he followed exactly what he was told. So I think you can follow what I'll be telling you later for the pacing bit. But yes, you cannot take it for granted. Pacing is something you really, really have to practice for towards the end, and then it gets much better. Any other question anyone has here? Please tell me. You can ask
Did
me.
you do the questions from OG separately or it was covered in during the class only?
For verbal, I did it towards the last. Some questions.
The advanced one or the
advanced? I did the advanced one just because I sort of thought that okay, I had like 4 days left for the exam. I wanted to pick up something, so I picked up OG advanced and then I did it.
So we had a
got me in the rhythm
conversation,
and then
Akshit and I, and then I suggested, because some of the stuff he needed more practice. So I suggested that, okay, you can do a little bit of official material as well towards the end for verbal only, not for quant. And that's what he did. So yeah, I guess. But advanced collection is very good. That's what he said in the call also to me. That advanced collection is genuinely, see, it is about challenging your mind to think about extremely difficult possibilities beforehand. So on the test day, you don't get that shock that, okay, what is this eventually? So yeah, advanced collection really does a good job, at least in CR and SC. I think it really, really opens up your mind to possibilities. Any other thing anyone has, please to ask here.
Next round of after completing the class, what was your strategy in achieving closure, and as well as once you are closing a topic, and then how you kind of keep that revising that one.
So the material actually here helps a lot. Yeah, please.
No, so I was just clarifying the question. How do you close out a topic once the classes are done? Like, when do you feel that this is complete now? I'm comfortable with it. So you always get that level of comfort in your mind that now this is making sense. For example, in sentence correction, I know Akshit had a huge challenge, but towards the end, I don't think he had any challenge. I mean, it's okay. 1 out of 10 will always go wrong for some people. but 90% is really good accuracy. 44 in verbal, by the way, cannot happen if you had made more than 4 mistakes. So the maximum number of mistakes you would have made is about 3 or 4 only. 3 mistakes or 4 mistakes is around 90% accuracy, even on the test day. And he didn't finish the, I mean, he finished it in probably 7 minutes earlier, right? I think you took, yeah. So it can be done. I think what I can do is I can really ask at any point in time you want to contact other people also, I can invite. And right now we'll continue with the class. Thank you, Akshit, for coming here. I'm very, very happy and super performance. And I hope you are looking at your applications now. Right.
I have just started them. Yes.
Right. Very, very good. And thanks for your time today. I know it was difficult for you to commit a day, but eventually you did. And I'm very, very glad that it really got one stage of the preparation, at least, or the journey is completely over. Are you applying to really like what is the band of schools you're applying to right now?
So I have shortlisted, let's say, some in my reach, like a Columbia or a Kellogg. I have then also done, let's say, Duke and Darden, and then a London Business School. So that's what my parameter is right now. I don't have a lot of time till the round 1 deadline, so I'm trying to just, let's see what's the most efficient one.
So mostly it is the reach school, not the dream ones. You're probably not doing this.
Dream ones for not for now. I'll see what my performance is for the reach ones right now, and then accordingly I'll plan in round 2.
Perfect. Okay, Akshit. Right.
Sir,
Thank you for your time.
sir,
Yeah. Anyone has any other question?
Yeah, if it's okay with you, I just have one tiny question.
Yeah.
Akshit, is this your first attempt to take the exam?
Can answer that, please.
Yes. So
And
basically,
are you
I
planning
gave
to,
one
like,
attempt.
repeat that? Are you planning to
I didn't
like
get the
take
question.
another attempt at it?
No. I
No,
won't
he's
do
a
that again, I
760.
think.
I don't think he will need another attempt.
Satisfied.
Right. Okay. All right. So thanks, Akshit, for coming and really spending the time with us, and can continue. I hope you've spoken to Autry. And
I have. Yes.
all right. Okay. Great. Bye. Bye. See you then.
Thank you. Best of luck all.
Thank you.